What's going on, y'all? For today's video, I gotta talk about one of the most influential games of all time, one of my personal all-time favorites, Mega Man X. Now, specifically, I want to dive into how this game is like really one of the most important games that I've ever played, and get into like some of my history with it and its influence. Mega Man X came out in '93, I believe, and as a kid, this was one of my favorite games. I never played anything like this. The platforming was so fast, so much action going on. The stage layout of you being able to pick what stage you wanted to do first, and you could follow any order, even though the game did have a specific order that you probably should go into, which I thought was also amazing. But yeah, there was nothing like this that I had played as a kid. Now I could not beat this game as a child. This was really hard. This game was excruciatingly painful as a child. I didn't finish this for the first time until I think I was about 13. I was in my stepbrother was at football practice, so I knew he was going to be gone pretty much all day because he had school and then football practice after. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go in your room. I fired up that Super Nintendo, and I was like, I'm just gonna lock in, and that's what I did. It took me a long time. It took me some hours, but I got it done, and it was the most rewarding feeling I've ever had. Finally beating Sigma on that last stage. But no, like I was playing this the other day on my Twitch stream, and I realized while I was playing that like this really was one of the most important games I've ever played because of the things that it introduced me to, and like the core principles that it instilled in me that I carry to this day, and it helps me with how I approach games because of the principles that it kind of instilled in me. The first being platforming. Now this game definitely, I would say, furthered my love for platforming. Of course, I played other games like Super Mario, any Super Mario game, but Mega Man X's platforming was a little different. It felt faster, and it was a little more devious. Like you know, in any Mega Man game, where it's the OG Mega Man or Mega Man X, there is always going to be a moment where you're jumping across a platform and you think it's safe, and then from off the screen, out of nowhere, something's going to fly and try to hit you. And if you don't know where it's coming from and you're not ready for it, it's going to hit you. You're going to fall and you're going to die, and it's not going to be a good time. So this game really instilled into me not only, being good with platforming, being concise, being, on point with where you're jumping, but hey, you need to be aware of what's happening while you're jumping, because sometimes it won't be as simple as just, hey, you just need to clear a gap. It might be, hey, you're going to jump and then we're going to throw something at you while you're jumping. And you need to be able to do both. You need to focus on what's about to hit you and where you're trying to land at the same time. So like those kind of moments in the game really influenced and helped me learn like effective platforming. And like I said, this further developed my love for platforming as like a gaming, not I guess you could say like a gaming genre, or just games that have platforming in them. This helped further that, but this game solidified and made me like get good at it. So yeah, on that front, extremely important for me as somebody who plays or enjoys games that have platforming elements. One of the most important things that this game did for me, that I carry with me to this day, and it was one of the first games that really drilled this principle into me, is recognizing patterns. This whole game, it's all pattern recognition. You got to know what's going on, what attack is about to happen, and how do I get out the way of it. Because as a kid, of course, we no internet. You didn't know, especially when you first go, you didn't know there was a specific boss order you had to do. You were just picking stages and hoping you had the right equipment to work and be effective against the boss. But if you didn't have it, hey, you better learn some pattern recognition, and you better learn it fast, because you are going to get slaughtered if you don't know what's going on. And this really drilled that into me. Like, hey, when Chill Penguin slides, hey, you need to jump Uh, you know, when Flame Mammoth, when he jumps, hey, you can dash under him or get on the wall and jump over him. Like it really drilled in pattern recognition and strategizing, and also like being patient. That those and I carry that with me literally in any game I play. If it's like any game that involves action or fighting of any kind, I'm always looking for patterns and when is my moment to swing or hit or attack. And this was the game that like drilled that into me to no end. And it's the only reason I beat the game is because I recognized patterns and I was able to figure stuff out. And that's how I finally got past Sigma. When you kind of start to pick up on little cues after you've died 8,000 times, you slowly start to pick up on, hey, oh, when he's moving this way, this is what he's about to do, or when they move that way, this is what he's about to do. And you just kind of, you learn to read and react. But with the pace of Mega Man X, it was so fast that you had to be really quick with it, because these enemies aren't. Boomerang is not waiting for you to figure it out. Like none of these bosses are waiting. They're gonna hit you, so you gotta like really be quick with it. And that kind of carried. I wouldn't know as a kid, but some decades later, we get this Souls-like genre, and when I play those games or play any game that just has a Souls-like element to it, I recall on those Mega Man X skills. It's the same concept to me. I look at them the same way. There's two completely different genres, and they play differently. But to me, the core principles are the same. It's pattern recognition. It's knowing what are they going to do. Can I read it before they do it so I know how to react to it or get out the way? And when is my opening? When do I get to shoot? Or when do I get to swing? So yeah, Mega Man X really was the first game that kind of really drilled that into me, and now I can approach other games with the same method, and it works. it works in the games that I like to play. That pattern recognition skill is one of the best skills that you can have as a gamer. Mega Man X also, because of how hard it is, it just built tolerance. Like you were forged in the flames playing this game. Like I said, as a kid, we didn't have the internet. Didn't have a strategy guide, at least not at the time, so kind of had to figure it out. That's a lot of trial and error and a lot of death, and it really built up my tolerance. It's part of the reason why I think in a weird way, I'm like a gaming masochist. I almost enjoy games that are difficult because I know that I have the tolerance for it. At least if I'm in the mood to play that kind of game, I have the tolerance because Mega Man X built me up to have the tolerance for those kind of games, because I died 20 million times playing this. So now when I play a Souls-like game or just any game that's difficult, I'm cool. I'm like, hey man, Mega Man taught me this a long time ago. Hey, if dying's part of the process, I'm cool. I'll figure it out. But yeah, man, it built up that patience, and it taught me to explore. With Mega Man X, you're running around finding E-tanks in the hard containers, and some of them are in, random places that you might not catch at first. I think, I want to say, was it Flame Mammoth stage? One of them, it was on a platform. You had to go up the platform and then, like, go all the way to the left. And you had to, like, jump off the screen. Like, it was like a leap of faith because you couldn't see it from where you were jumping. So you just had to just jump, and then you would hit the wall, and then the E-tank was on top. And yeah, this game really drilled into me. Hey, you need to check every corner and crevice of anything. Hey, slide down that wall that doesn't look like it leads to anywhere, but maybe it does. Jump on platforms that maybe look like they aren't going anywhere, but it might actually go somewhere. Like, this game really drilled into me exploring and checking everything, because you want to find the secrets, you want to find the hidden items. Especially in Mega Man X, you needed all those E-tanks if you had any hope of beating Sigma, especially as a kid, because like I said, we weren't that great at the game. You needed all the health you could get because he was gonna take it all from you. So yeah, this game really helped me understand the importance of just exploring and looking at every little corner and crevice that I could, in hopes that maybe I'd find something cool and be rewarded for my curiosity. So yeah, like, those really core principles, like I said, platforming, recognizing patterns, exploring every corner, and just building like a toughness and a tolerance of difficulty, and not hitting the panic button, kind of forged me to be able to play the games that I do now. And it's really crazy to see the influence Mega Man X has, like over the indie scene, man. Like games like 20XX, 30XX, Gravity Circuit, the entire Gunvolt series. If you've never played Gunvolt Luminous Avengers X, you are messing up. Get your life together. The game's so good. The whole series really is so good. Games like Berserk Boy, like there's so many games on the indie scene that have the Mega Man X and Mega Man in general like DNA running through them. And when you go back and play it, it's not hard to see why, man. This game really was crazy influential with, you know, just like stage design, the way they would do the boss order, bosses having weaknesses. Like it was such an influential game, but also, like I said, personally for me important because of these core kind of principles it drilled into me and changed how I approach games when I play them. And all of these skills for me transfer to almost every game I play. And I have, you know, I gotta thank Mega Man X for, you know, I didn't know it at the time, but it was gonna help me with you know, games like Sekiro, recognizing patterns, building tolerance, and getting used to dying 8,000 times, because sometimes that's just part of the process. It just, you know, it really, you know, it helped me with the platformers that I've played. This game really did a lot, and I didn't really realize it until I went back and recently played it. Like, man, no, this really, Mega Man X set the tone for how I would approach gaming for like the next 20 plus years, which is really crazy. But I think that goes to show like how great, how amazing this game, this franchise in general really is, man. This Mega Man really set the tone, man. It shout outs to the Blue Bomber, bro. Shout outs to the Blue Bomber. But yeah, I just had to come in, man. I had to show some love to Mega Man X. Amazing game, man. If you've never played it, do yourself a favor and go back. It's amazing game, amazing soundtrack. Just, it's so good. It's so many good things I can say about it. But yeah, man, that's all I got for today's video, man. My name is Serial Sensei. Y'all stay safe, y'all stay hydrated, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.